What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of Motor Talk. My name is Dan. As always, I am joined with Mr. Craig. How are you, sir?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Last time we talked about the weather, well, it got a little chilly here, so we got the blankie out.
I see. You got your nice little poncho over there.
Yeah, I mean it's keeping me warm. It's February,
Well,
so it's cold.
it, it is February. Only a couple more weeks, man. A couple more weeks.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, it is the second week in February, but we've got a very special day for those that have a significant other, and we've got Valentine's Day right around the corner.
Yeah, you got plans
So,
all set and everything?
not necessarily plans for Valentine's Day yet, but I do have plans for the weekend. Actually, I know that we've talked about it. It's kind of an upcoming event that we're doing, but Indy is running this coming up weekend, and the following weekend or 2 weekends after that, the motorcycle show. I've never been. There's usually one up here in Chicago, but they haven't done it for a couple of years. So Indy's only 2.5 hour drive south, and you're an hour and a half south of that. So
Yeah.
or an hour give or take. So I know we're planning on doing that. That's going to be a fun time. Hopefully, there's a lot of vendors and some different companies that are there that maybe we can do some interviews and talk with them and get some information for some of our viewers that didn't get a chance, and maybe they'll want to go the following week.
Yeah, so
Whatever.
so go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the events that we've been to before and what it looks like. If you're talking like Harley Homecoming, or you're talking about other rallies and stuff like that. What can somebody expect to see at one of these shows or rally type events?
All of them are a little bit different, and I'm sure an event that you go to, everybody's going to take something different away. Whether the people watching, like at Harley Homecoming, when you go to the actual Harley campus, it's very well orchestrated. There's a lot of in intuitive parts that we saw Rockford Fosgate last year, and a couple other bigger companies that were there showing off some of their custom products and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then Harley, of course, is going to show their models, their new model seasons that came out. Sometimes they do have the test drives. There's a lot of different things. Now, when you go to the out, like we'll talk about Harley Homecoming, when you go to some of the dealers, each dealer has some of the same vendors but different stuff. Like the one, I don't know the names of the specific Harleys, but there's one Harley that was slam packed, and it's right next to a gentleman's club, and all they really had was more like the street riders, a lot of Harley Homecoming off-brand shirts, and so on and so forth. By what's the company that does it? It will come to me. But then you go to another one, and you go to the House of Harley, which, by the way, I think is probably one of the coolest Harleys in Wisconsin. Other than Oconomowoc, that one's pretty cool too. But they have a lot of the vendors. That's where you saw Clockworks, and you saw Soundstream, and you saw uh, um, the different lighting companies and whatnot. So you kind of got to go into it, do your research, and say, okay, where things are going to be, what you want to look at, and then you can take away from that. That's the only thing, is because you can't hone in on the one thing. If you want to go to people watching, okay, then this is what it is. If you want to go get information or input, this is where you should go. So you kind of have to maybe pivot a little bit and kind of say, okay, well, There's nothing here that I want to see. So let's pivot and let's do, okay, what are we here for? Oh, I'm here with my friends. Let's have just have a good time. I mean, that's all what it's about is have a good time.
Yeah, you're
So
exactly right.
I could be long winded on that. I apologize.
No, you're perfect. So that was my first Harley homecoming. Was what I went to last year with you. I missed the 125th, 120th. That was there. Missed that, and went the following year. And there was all kinds of vendors and things that you could go and see, and everything from Saddleman seat, Mustang seats, to Legend suspension, to Olin suspension, Soundstream radios. You have just all of these vendors there. Dunlop tires, which came out and was like walking through the crowd shooting pictures of bikes, and they happened to take a picture of my bike and were like, hey, you're rocking Dunlaps. And I was like, yeah, I just got them replaced. But you see all these people, all of this, all of the motorcycle stuff, and you can actually talk to somebody about it before you buy it. Hey,
Right.
what does this do? How's it going to relate to my style of riding? How's it going to work with my bike? What's it going to do? And that's the nice thing about those types of events, that they have those things.
But not only from the vendors, even if you park next to somebody that has a motorcycle and there's something on that bike, you're like, oh man, that's the cat's pajamas. 9 out of 10 times, that person, because you notice that one little thing, is going to sit there and talk your ear off for 20, 30 minutes. We've all been there.
Yeah,
We've like, I've had it. I've had it when you, me, and Cliff have been parked somewhere, and we all have the Clockworks windshields.
yeah,
And how many times is it a 20, 30-minute conversation about, oh, that's different, or oh, and it's okay because we too have done that in the past. Oh, that's a sweet sound system, or man, what kind of exhaust is on that thing? Oh, that's a Screaming Eagle. No way, I can't believe it. I never heard one sound like that.
yeah.
So that's the other thing. Not only the vendors, but you can also see what other people have done to their bikes, and it may fall into what you want to do to your bike.
And you nailed it exactly right there, because why do we do this stuff to our bikes? We want other people to notice it. We want to be able to
Right.
walk out of the Harley dealer and have three people standing around your bike. Like, that's what you want. Um,
Or
you know,
pictures. Or
or
pictures taken.
yeah, and that's something that we do a great job of. Anytime we see a kid around, like, hey, come, they're looking at the bikes or whatever. Hey, come on, let's go sit on it. Go, we'll get your picture
Yep.
taken on it, and everything. And that's what it's about. Is about having something that somebody notices, that somebody likes, and then let them let them see it, let them be a part of it. And that's what this whole thing is about. Is
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so
we
we have that event that's coming up, which is going to be awesome, and then, we kind of are solidifying, which we have solidified all the I would say details or whatnot. We're
yeah
still working on with the actual um, locations that we're going to, but I mean the Uranus ride, which is going to be awesome. That's going to be a great day trip. Um, for those that don't know what Uranus is, down in Missouri, the original one. It's a very interesting place to say the least.
yeah
Craig likes to get his fudge packed from Uranus there. Um, but they opened up two more. They opened one in Richmond and one in Anderson.
yeah yeah
And so we are going to do a first annual Uranus ride, and we're going to leave from, is it Anderson
Anderson. We're gonna leave from Anderson.
to
Richmond.
Richmond, and then Richmond to whatever Missouri, which is
Yeah,
about an hour south of St. Louis.
yeah. So we
So, and
actually,
we're going to do that all in one day.
yeah, we hit the one in Missouri when we were going to Arkansas last year, and it was super cool. And then we found out, hey, there were two more of them. So we came up with the idea of, hey, let's make this a day trip. Let's hit all three in one day, and I think it's a total of about 450 miles, 500 miles, something like that. So it's not, I mean, it's long, but it's not terribly long, and a lot of it is interstate. So you're going to be able to, get some pretty good time. We're going to go by two or three Harley dealers, and stop in there. Places that people haven't been to. and just like we said, Harley Homecoming and those types of things are about going out and just being together. That's exactly what this is. How can you, how much better can it be than to spend a day riding with your friends, seeing places that you haven't been, just hanging out.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely Uranus is uh, like I said, an interesting place, and they're pretty
Yeah,
much all the same, but it's more of checking it off the list. There's some people that will go to, there's a place in Illinois that has their motto is the most largest items out there or something, and they have like the largest mailbox, the largest rocking chair, the largest,
yeah,
there's like 20 or 30 things. They're in the Guinness Book of World Records, but it's more of a destination ride. Hey, we can knock this out in one day. It's going to be in the beginning of the season. We can shake the cobwebs off our bike, see how everybody's riding, check out the new communication that we have on our helmets that we're gonna, which you did a video on, which is really
yeah.
cool. But we'll do it more in depth on seeing how it works and whatnot. But you hit it right. It's more about just getting out there with your friends. And we've got people that are going to be on motorcycles, and we got people that are going to be in cars, and it's just going to be a great time. I mean, what more do you have to do? Besides you got Mother's Day, the following
Yeah,
weekend,
the following weekend's
or
Mother's Day.
so and you're going to be busy, and then you got a couple more weeks, and it's going to be Father's Day, and then you got Fourth of July. So things are going to start going. So be able to shake the cobwebs and put a little road underneath the tires is always a great time, especially with the Misfit crew.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of those that, um, just kind of came about because we were like, hey, let's do this. Let's see if we can. And you
Oh,
reached
for
out
sure.
and got the approval to be able to video the whole thing. When we go to the places, we're able to video in the stores and stuff. So it's going to be a neat thing, and we're going to definitely document that and put it out. Maybe it might be one video, it might be two. Just kind of depends on how it goes throughout the day. But
Exactly. And then, we're going to work out some logistics on our end as far as, what we're looking for, or, what kind of shots, or who we're going to talk to. Of course, when we get there, we'll talk with, the managers and whatnot, let them know who we are and what we're doing and whatnot. But I think that you'll be able to see a different side of it, especially for motor enthusiasts, whether motorcycles or cars, because again, Motor Misfits is not just a motorcycle group. It's a riding club. So if you have a car, you have a bike, you have a three-wheeler, a Can-Am, a trike, whatever, there's no we don't frown or put our nose up at it, but you get to see our perspective. Now, if you had your kids with you, it would be a different. Okay, let's go get ice cream. Well, Cliff's going to be with us, so we'll
yeah,
probably
so
get
we're
ice
getting
cream
ice
at all
cream.
three locations.
Yeah.
But they have miniature golf course at
Well, and that's part of
the
it.
one
Remember,
in
you've got to buy something at each spot so that you got a receipt saying, "Hey, you were there." Cliff's gonna knock that out because he's gonna
exactly.
buy ice cream at every spot.
Absolutely, and that's the cool thing about some of these rides, that create your own,
Yeah,
and I don't want to get on this tangent, but if you like a certain group of people, and like me, I'm not a big drinker. I could drink, but I'm not somebody that's like, oh, let's go get tore up. So going to bar to bar to bar doesn't do anything for me. Now, if you said, hey, let's do an ice cream run, and we're going to hit six ice cream places in a day, and we're going to get a small vanilla cone at each one of them. There's a ride, and you can
yeah.
do it every year at around the same time,
It can
and
be
that way,
you nailed it with ice cream thing. We've talked in southern Indiana. It seems like there's a Dollar General. Every time you turn around, there's a Dollar General. So we've talked about maybe just doing a Dollar General ride, hitting 10
yeah,
Dollar Generals in a day. And you may only ride 30 miles and hit 10, but it'd be fun. Do it with your friends. It'd be fun. You could hit $10 generals, and you know, and that's not something that
absolutely.
it's not something that you have to plan. It can be, hey, spur of the moment. Hey, we're gonna go hit Dollar Generals. Anybody want to come? And you'll have
Right.
people who are like, oh, that's so stupid. But then you'll have some people who are like, oh, yeah, that sounds fun, and it'll be a blast.
And if you ever went shopping with Craig or I, It's always a blast. So, but and even when you bring your significant other with you, that's also too because you're making the memories. Whether it be something so stupid where, oh, do you remember when so and so said that funny thing, or do you
Yeah.
remember when what's his name forgot to put down his kickstand or whatever. But really, it's just about making the memories.
Well, and that's the thing. You always have a memory of every ride that you went on. I mean, every ride that I've been on, there's a memory. Every charity ride that I've been on, there's a memory. Good and
Mhm.
bad. Hey,
Oh, I
one
was going to
chair.
say good and bad.
Yeah, one charity ride there was a wreck. Another charity ride, we pull up into the parking lot, and one of my friends dumps his bike in the parking lot, trying to stop. With 50, 100 other bikes looking at him. Great things happen, bad things happen, but it's memories, and it's something that you'll talk about, all the time to friends. And hey, remember that time that we stopped in the parking lot and somebody forgot to put their feet down and just fell over?
Right, right, and that happens more than you would think. But now going into this and being that it is Valentine's Day in a couple days, what would you say would be your most memorable ride or place that you and your wife went on?
Um, so Jay and I are big ride to eat, I guess, type people. Like we'll ride and
Mm,
go eat at a lot of different places. But one that we just love to do, and it's local. Literally, we ride maybe 30 miles to it. And it's a chain restaurant, which when we're out on the bike, we don't really hit a whole lot of, when we're out of the state or whatever. But we love to just get on the bike and ride, and it's 30 minutes to Drake's. And Drake's is a restaurant that you can get a burger at. You can get some drinks at. You can get, like boneless wings at. But they have sushi, and I'm a huge sushi guy. I love sushi, and Jay, my wife, knows that. So she's like, "Hey, let's go to Drake's. You can have sushi," and she gets a salad, and it's just we sit and
mm.
we people watch and we hang out, and it's just a great time. And we do it in the summer. We might do it once a month, and just go and you get a short ride in, you get a short ride home, but it's sitting, hanging out, just being together.
Right, and that's all what motorcycles about. You know what I mean? Just being together, especially when you have somebody on the back of your bike. I mean, it's kind of like a warm, cozy blanket. At least that's
Yeah.
how I feel.
What? Cozy
Um,
blankie?
cozy blankie. Um, but I would say, to piggyback on that, I mean, I think that going to places and whatnot, as far as like food places, you know what I'm going to tell you. My go to is tacos, man.
Yeah.
There's this bomb.com taco place called the Taco Truck. It's in Joliet, Illinois. It's off of Cass and Collins or 52 and Archer, if you want to call it that way. But it is awesome. And Craig's been there, and he gets upset that we don't go there every time he comes in.
He takes
But
me.
I,
He
I like.
goes by it and doesn't stop. I'm like, what are you doing, man? I can eat one taco for sure.
Well, see, that's when they were. They used to be dollar tacos. Now they're $2
I
tacos.
don't even
So,
care. I could eat a taco anytime. I mean, we could go out to eat and then drive by, and I'm like, I could still eat a taco.
or now you're addicted to elotes.
Yeah, that too.
Those are really good there too. But I would say that you're right. You go there now, different kind of different kind of crowd.
Yeah.
The people watching is amazing, but I think that would probably be one of my most like rides that I can consistently do and not be, ugh, I don't want to go again. There's
Well,
some rides that I'm like, I don't want to go. I've been
that's
to
just
that
a
bar
cool
16
area.
times. I don't want to be there.
That's
Yeah.
just a cool area. Like, talk about all the stuff that's just right there.
So you're right down the street from the old Joliet prison, which is where the Blues Brothers was recorded, and also Prison Break was recorded, which is an awesome Joliet prison. They have an awesome uh, tour. They have a ghost tour. Sometimes they do car shows during the summer. Blues Brothers perform there, which is cool. John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd they'll perform, which is really really cool. Um, but you got that. You got right down the street. You got the Kane County or not Kane County Joliet Slammers. baseball team, which is actually just purchased by Bill Murray, which is cool. You got the casino. That area is very, very cool, and it's far enough from the city, but you're still getting the city feel.
Yeah. Isn't there some haunted
But
houses
not
around there
as.
too?
Yeah, so there's actually a couple. There's only one really good haunted house in the Chicagoland area, and I know I will get a lot of grief on this, but Hell's Gate Haunted House is by far top notch. I mean, they go above and beyond, and it's more of a stage play. And these actors that are in there is they're running through every 30 seconds to a minute a new crowd, and they're restarting, and it's the same, and they do a great job at it. There are a couple other ones, the old Joliet Prison, which is kind of a knockoff of old Statesville, which is no longer around. So you have the haunted houses there. You've got an awesome place actually right in Lockport on the way there called Victory Leathers, which is probably uh, the best leather shop around. And Eddie, the owner, which we've talked to, and we're actually going to be doing a little podcast with him coming up later on in the spring, um, but or sooner. But he's really good at what he does, and he's got a great backstory. You know, just a lot of old town vibes and feels. Um, and the riding is pretty decent. It's
Yeah.
different. It's
You can get
it's
through it not
it's
ever having
not.
to stop at a stoplight, right?
We've done that. Yep, over what was it, about 50 miles or
Yeah.
so, 40 miles.
Yeah. You want to go
No
into
no
that story at all?
clutch, and we can. So we and then we
That's
can
a
kind of
trip that
end
we
on that.
took.
That is a trip. That is a trip. Again, going to talk about stories that you have that you'll talk about forever. We rode with one of our buddies, and he had an Indian. It was Fourth of July weekend, and we went out to a great little restaurant in Dwight, Illinois, called Station 343. It's a firefighter bar, not a firefighter bar, but a firefighter style restaurant and bar. Great food, by the way. So we go there, we eat, and we go to leave, and one of our guys shift. It was the
It was a
shifter
clutch
cable,
cable. Sh- the clutch
clutch
cable
cable,
broke.
clutch cable broke. Mind you, it's Saturday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. Everybody's closed, and we had to go about 60 miles
Yeah.
to get home. So one of our friends ran over to Ace Hardware, got a pair of vice grips, duct tape, zip ties, and a couple other things. And basically, he had to reach down and shift with these um, vice grips, and he could not stop because if he was stopping, that bike, we don't know if it would have went any further. So we were blocking traffic, blocking stoplights. We were getting everything and anything we could do to keep him moving. Luckily, we found a guy that had a clutch cable that wasn't even for his bike, just laying on the ground. It worked out
Yeah.
perfect.
We pull up to the shop, and the guy picks it up off the ground. He's like, this'll do," and like made it work.
And he worked. And the guy didn't want any money. He's been there. His name's Stretch. He just opened up a new shop, but Stretch is in Lockport. Um, we'll be forever grateful to
Yeah.
him. I mean, because you guys rode your bikes up here.
Yeah. So the our buddy had to ride, 350 miles home with this clutch
Yeah,
cable the next day, and it was like, if it doesn't work, how's he gonna get home? Like, what are we gonna do? So
right, right. And but it was a great experience. Again, going back to stories that you have, that just by that one little trigger will just bring you right back. Like I can remember it just like it's
yeah.
yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So, well, I think that the time has come. I'm going to ask, as always, Craig, give me something to leave the listeners with.
So everything you do, you have a memory from. don't be afraid to share that memory with people. Let them know what your background is. Let them know the stories that you've got, because everything that you do, somebody else has something that can tie to it. So that'll tie everyone together, which is what it's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll piggyback on that. Everybody's got one of these. Take pictures, take videos,
Yeah.
document, because you're going to look back at some of those pictures and laugh, or videos of, because sometimes people won't believe you. There's no way he rode with you, uh, rode with vice grips. Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I got
This is
pictures.
also the same. This is also the same person that said, "Hey, let's go to a river crossing and dump his bike in the creek," which we have pictures of
Yeah,
that.
have
So,
pictures of that too.
and videos of them pushing it out. But but no, take pictures. I mean, now we're in the day of age. Everybody has a phone. But stop and take that picture. If there's a pretty sunset, or there's a beautiful bike, or there's something that you ate that was the best thing, take a picture of it. Now have that memory, because there's going to come a time and place where those places that you went to may not be around anymore. Those people that you made those memories with may have moved on from their friendship, from your friendship, but cherish the memories that you took away from that. Whether you left on negative terms or positive terms, know that at that time you were happy and you were smiling and you took that picture. So I would say just stop and take a picture.
There we go. That's good. That's
So,
great right there.
but you have a great rest of your day, Mr. Craig, and we'll
Yeah, for
catch you
sure.
guys back next week.
Sounds good. See you guys then.